After 6 years and 80,000 followers on Medium, I left for Substack. But the reason isn't what you might expect. Look, everyone is asking the wrong question. It's not, should I choose Medium or Substack? The real question is, do you want to write or do you want to use your writing to build something larger? Because after spending 6 years at the top of Medium, managing Better Marketing, one of their biggest publications, becoming a Boost nominator, and running the Medium Writing Academy, I discovered something nobody really talks about. These platforms aren't competitors, at least not for you as a creator and writer. They are completely different games with different rules, different prizes, and different players. My name is Sinem Günel, and before we dive any further, I need you to understand that I'm not some Substack evangelist who hates Medium. Medium was the starting point of my writing career and helped me gain over 80,000 followers, millions of readers, and 6 figures in earnings just through the partner program. I taught thousands of writers through my Medium Writing Academy, and I was probably as inside Medium as you could get. But in 2024, my co-founders and I started to subtly invest more time into Substack. Not because Medium failed me, but because I outgrew what it could offer for me as a creator. And today I'm going to show you exactly when to use which platform and why you might want to secretly use both. In the next few minutes, you'll understand the fundamental DNA of each platform, the money reality nobody discusses, and the hybrid strategy writers can leverage. Now here's the simplest way to understand this. I know it sounds a bit weird, but hear me out. Medium is like being a chef at the world's best restaurant. Amazing kitchen, great address, customers already waiting for you. But you don't own the restaurant. You don't keep the customer list. And if the restaurant changes its menu or closes, you're basically out. Substack, on the other hand, is like opening your own restaurant. It's smaller initially. You need to find your own customers, but you own everything. The recipes, the customer list, the building. You can expand, franchise, or even sell the restaurant. On Medium, you are a Medium writer. Your identity is tied to the platform. When people share your article, they say, check out this Medium article. On Substack, however, you are you. When people share your newsletter, they say, check out Sinem's newsletter, or even check out Sinem's Substack. This might seem subtle, but it's a major difference. Now let's talk about how readers find your work. When you publish on Medium, your article enters a recommendation system that can show it to thousands of readers. I've had articles reach hundreds of thousands of readers in the early days, not because I had followers, but because the algorithm picked my work up. The curation system, the publication network, and the tag system, it's all designed for one thing: helping readers discover stories they will enjoy reading, so they spend more time on Medium. The catch is, you're playing in Medium's sandbox. They can change the algorithm or their expectations and boost guidelines, and they have multiple times, just like any other platform. And when that happens, your traffic can literally disappear. Substack's discovery is very different right now. Even though there is an algorithm that can help you get discovered, there is a much more important social layer as well. Notes, recommendations, cross promotions, everything is built on relationships between writers and readers. You grow by other writers supporting you, not just by an algorithm's or curator's decision. The catch is that it can be slower initially because you have to build trust and relationships first. You're less likely to go viral overnight on Substack. But once you build momentum, it compounds in ways that are not possible on Medium, simply because you own your audience and you can make several decisions that help you grow faster and more sustainably. While Medium can give you larger dopamine hits through the partner program, Substack allows you to build compounding growth. Now let's talk about what everyone really cares about: the money. I made over $100,000 directly through Medium's partner program, and here's exactly how it works. You write stories, readers pay a monthly flat fee to access Medium's paywalled content. You put your story behind the paywall, paying members read your work, Medium calculates the read time, and you get paid based on engagement from paying Medium members. The good side is, you can earn from day one. No need to build your own audience first. One article can generate hundreds or thousands thousands of dollars, even now in the time of boosting. But the brutal truth is that you're splitting a fixed pool of money with every other writer on the platform. Earnings are unpredictable since they can fluctuate massively based on viral posts, and constantly writing new stories is basically all you can do to bump up your earnings. Substack is radically different. You set your price, readers pay you directly, and Substack takes a cut off your earnings. The good thing is, you have more predictable revenue. If you have 100 subscribers at $5 a month, you know what you're going to make. You can control everything, your price, what's free, what's paid. You have a higher earning potential, and top writers make up to 7 figures per year through their publications. Most importantly, you own the relationship with your readers and your customers. But the brutal truth is that you start at zero, and building a paid audience takes time. You need to be comfortable selling your paid tier like it is a product, because it is. And the truth is, most writers hate selling their work. The key is that Medium paid me for my writing. Substack readers pay me for my expertise, not just my writing. Now let's talk about what you actually own and build on each of these platforms, because that's where things get a little uncomfortable. My 80,000 followers on Medium, I don't own them. I cannot email them, I can't take them with me when I leave the platform. If Medium shuts down tomorrow, they are gone, and I have no way of ever reaching those readers again, even though these are all people who have enjoyed my work and actively decided to follow me. Most writers learn this the hard way, but followers are worthless. And Medium has changed their algorithm dozens of times since I started publishing on the platform in 2018. In the early days, claps determined earnings. In 2019, read time became the king. 2020, curation was all we talked about. 2021, publications. 2022, new writers had a bigger chance. 2023, they changed the payment formula again, and now boosting is the key. Each change means that you need to adapt and reevaluate your strategy and goals. On Substack, I can download my entire email list right now. Every subscriber, their email, when they joined, I instantly get an CSV file, which is basically an entire business I can take anywhere else. But it goes deeper. You own your content, you own your payments, you own your relationship with your readers through the direct email access. Now, if Substack disappeared tomorrow, I would still have my 20,000 subscribers, given that I'm regularly doing backups, which is highly recommended. I would just move those subscribers to my newsletter on Kit, and I would keep going. This ownership is one of the aspects that made Substack so interesting for me, because I'm not just a writer, I'm an entrepreneur. I build courses, communities, products. Medium is incredible for writers who want to write, but if you want to build a business, you need ownership and features that support your goals. Medium isn't built for creators and entrepreneurs. It's a space for writing. Think of it this way. Medium is like writing in a beautiful library where everyone is their own cubicle. You can admire other people's work, but you're not really talking to each other. Sure, there are comments and highlights, but when did you last make a real friend on Medium? When did you really collaborate or team up with someone? The platform is designed for readers, not for writer-to-writer connection. Substack, on the other hand, feels like a writer's co-working space. Everyone is building, everyone is helping each other. In my first year on Substack, I co-hosted dozens of live events with other writers. I wrote guest posts, and I have built actual friendships with like-minded writers who I got to meet in real life. This isn't just networking. The Substack community directly grows your business through recommendations, cross-promotions, and collaborations. Now, here are the hard facts. On Medium, I spent 6 years, 80,000 followers. I made a handful of friends, even though I was running the leading community for the platform. On Substack, within a year, I can look back to 20,000 subscribers and deep relationships with dozens of writers who became not only friends, but also our strongest collaboration partners and affiliates. Those relationships are worth much more than followers. Now let's get specific about what you can actually do on each platform. Both platforms come with a clear basic editor that allows you to publish long-form content without much hassle. On Substack, you can directly integrate subscription buttons, and you can also publish podcasts or videos, run live streams, and post short-form notes. While Medium is exclusively for your long-form writing. Medium is algorithm-driven. Distribution Distribution decisions are made by publication editors as well as boost nominators. But more importantly, you don't build an email list that you can take with you. Substack, on the other hand, is more relationship driven. There's a recommendation network and you own your email subscribers. When it comes to earnings, on Medium, you rely on the partner program exclusively. You get paid because readers read your work and they pay for Medium's subscription. On Substack, you run your own paid subscription. You can have a founding member tier, you can treat it as a donation, you can give away group subscriptions, and most importantly, you can use your Substack as a marketing channel to monetize your work by offering products and services outside of Substack as well. This isn't possible on Medium because the moment you plug in promo links into your articles, they won't reach many people and those links will be useless. Now, one specific feature that perfectly shows the key difference between the two platforms is Substack's chat feature. On Substack, you can not only privately message other writers and readers, but you can also create a community chat and treat your audience as a community. At Write Build Scale, we use our chat almost every day to engage with our readers, run giveaways, share our latest updates, and provide a space for connection. This is pretty much the opposite of what you do on Medium because, as I've said before, Medium doesn't even allow its writers to communicate with each other. In fact, not even publication editors have a proper way of communicating with their writers. We're still using external tools to do that. Now, if we take all of this into consideration, when should you choose Medium? Well, you should choose Medium if you are a purist writer who wants to solely focus on the craft. You love the simplicity of algorithmic discovery and you want immediate potential for virality. You're not interested in building a business beyond your writing. You prefer working within established structures and you want to earn money without managing subscriptions or products yourself. If you said that you just want to write articles and get paid, Medium can be perfect for you. Will this happen overnight? Of course not. There's a lot to learn about Medium's internal distribution systems, and if you're new to the platform, you need to know that you're not going to make big bucks with every single piece you put out there. On the other hand, you should choose Substack if you're building a personal brand and a real business. You want predictable growing revenue and you're comfortable with relationship-based growth. You want your own audience, you plan to expand beyond just writing, you might want to think about creating courses, coaching, or community, and you think long-term. You want to rely on compounding growth instead of short-term viral hits. The short message is, if you see writing as the foundation of a larger business, Substack should be a non-negotiable. But here's what the smartest writers are doing and what I'm actually recommending to most writers right now. Write the pillar piece on Substack. This can go out as your newsletter and live on your Substack publication. Then republish the same piece on Medium. And then create notes on Substack by using the key highlights and insights of your piece. That way you have one piece of content, two platforms, and you are serving two different audiences. Let me give you an even more specific example. This video, for example, will go live on YouTube, but the script will be published on Substack as a separate post. I'll then repurpose snippets as Substack notes, and I might also publish the entire piece on Medium. And on top of that, I will link to it in my newsletter on Kit. Well, that's the game. One message, multiple platforms, compounding growth. You can use Medium to test ideas, see what resonates, and check out the partner program to see if that model actually resonates with you, while reaching readers who might never pay for an individual subscription on Substack. And you can use Substack to build your core audience, to leverage direct monetization, to grow a community, and to rely on long-term business growth. Now, if you're watching this video because you've been writing on Medium before and you're wondering if it's time to add Substack to the mix, here are 3 signals you should watch out for. There's the ceiling signal. So if your Medium earnings have plateaued for the last 6+ months, you might want to expand. There is the business signal. You want to launch digital products or services and build a sustainable business on the internet instead of just relying on the partner program, which is completely fair. And then there is the ownership signal. If you are tired of algorithm anxiety and want to own your audience and relationships, that's a great signal as well. But here's what I recommend. Don't burn bridges. You can perfectly use both platforms together. You don't need to quit Medium and start Substack. Substack or do the opposite. Instead, you can repurpose the pieces you've already written on one platform, take them to the other, and start to slowly build your multi-platform approach that way. When we started the Write Build Scale publication on Substack, I republished many of my older Medium articles. This allowed me to spend a lot of time actually understanding Substack as a platform because I didn't have to constantly churn out new content, and I could instead focus on connecting with the audience and building relationships with writers. And here's the way I look at it. Medium is where writers can get started, but Substack is where digital entrepreneurs can really thrive. Those 80,000 followers I gained on Medium, that validation, that training of showing up, that's what made me the writer I am today. This is what taught me to write in the first place. I was able to just show up and publish my writing without having any technical knowledge, an audience, or marketing know-how. But Substack is teaching creators to build an ecosystem and a business they can rely on. But remember, you don't have to choose between platforms. You just need to choose your own path. If you're starting out, here's my advice. Pick the platform that most resonates with you at your current stage. Start to write and show up without the pressure of achieving viral hits or building a massive audience. Just get the reps in, build your confidence, and enjoy the process. But listen to early signals. If you realize that you actually enjoy thinking about your writing in an entrepreneurial way, you definitely don't want to miss out on the opportunity to build an email list instead of just the following. At the end of the day, followers are worthless, no matter if you build them on Medium, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Well, if you've been with me until this point, I would actually love to know where you are in your journey right now. Are you a Medium writer thinking about Substack, or a Substack writer wondering if you should try Medium? Or are you starting from scratch altogether? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts or questions. I'm really curious to hear from you. And if you're new to Substack and want detailed templates, frameworks, and some guidance on how to build your publication, click the link in the description box to secure your Substack starter kit. This is a Notion dashboard with dozens of insights that will help you get your publication off the ground right away. But honestly, the platform matters less than you think. What matters is that you start. I started publishing on Medium with 0 followers, terrified that nobody would read my work. 6 years later, it's a multi-6-figure business. And the only difference between me and you is that I started and I didn't give a shit about what others might think. Now it's your turn.